This is our very last yoga sequence today, and today I'm just going to kind of go through a regular practice that I would do on my own. So this is my personal practice. I hope you enjoy. Let's all start out seated today. And just begin by crossing your legs, sitting however's comfortable, and getting that nice long tall back. And closing your eyes. Let's start by breathing. Feeling that breath. And coming into the present moment. Relaxing your eyelids. Relaxing your jaw muscles. And let's go ahead and bring our right hand to our heart, our left hand to our stomach. And just feel that breath. Feel your body move as you breathe in and out. And just let everything else go. So a lot of times when we stress in life, it's because we're either thinking about the past, having regrets about the past, or worrying about the future. So in yoga, it's all about being in that present moment. So go ahead and let go of your past, quit thinking about the future, and just be here now. Let that breath lead you through your postures as you just relax through this sequence. So let's go ahead and bring that right hand over your shoulder. Left hand is going to come behind your back, underneath. Try to reach those fingertips together. Make sure you keep a nice, long, tall, straight back. Feeling those shoulder muscles stretch out. And on your next exhalation, we're going to switch. Bring that left hand over your back, right hand under, reaching those fingertips together. Keep that nice long back, neck is long and tall, reaching towards the sky. And on your next exhalation, we'll unwind, and let's walk our fingertips forward. Reaching forward, stretching long, relax that neck to the floor. And exhaling, we'll walk our hands back to center. And then however's comfortable for you, shift onto one hip and let's come into our tabletop pose. Hands and knees firmly on the floor. Remember, make sure to spread those fingertips and have weight in each finger. And go ahead and take your inhalation. And exhaling, we'll round our back, tuck that chin, come into your cat pose. And you really want to let your breath lead you here. So as you inhale, arch that back, reaching towards the sky. And again, we'll exhale, rounding that back. And then again, inhaling, rising up. And one more time, exhale, round that back. And this time as you inhale, let's come to a neutral position. And we're going to shift back, feet together, knees apart. Let's come into our child's pose. And go ahead and walk your hands over to the right, breathing through that left side. And exhaling, coming back to center. And walking your hands over to the left, breathing through that right side. And again, exhaling back to center. And as you inhale, we're going to come back to that tabletop position. And this is one of my favorite stretches. It's called Thread the Needle. So we'll walk our left hand to center, bringing that weight into our left hand. And inhale, right arm reaches towards the sky. And as you exhale, we're going to thread it underneath our left arm, head and shoulder to the earth. Now, if you have any shoulder problems, you're probably not going to want to do this stretch. And if you want, you can bring that left hand behind your back. Really bringing the weight down, feeling that nice long shoulder stretch. And left hand is going to come back to center. Pushing that weight back up, we'll come back to our tabletop. And this time we'll walk our right hand to center. Weight is in the right hand. And inhale, reaching that left arm towards the sky. And on your exhale, threading the needle, shoulder and head to the earth. And again, if you want to bring that right arm behind your back, getting a deeper stretch. And just breathing. Good, and we'll bring our right hand back down, pressing back up and rising back to that tabletop. All right, so we're going to press that left hand back into the earth. Let's reach our right arm forward and left leg back. And you really want to try to level out here. You want to feel that core engaged and firm. This is steady and slow, so we'll take an inhalation. Inhaling that arm and leg into the chest, slowly, steadily, keeping that core tight. And exhaling, reaching back out, elongating those limbs. And again, we'll inhale in towards the chest. And exhale back out, reaching long. And one more time, inhaling in. And exhale back out. And come back into that neutral tabletop. Taking a few breaths here. Let's switch arms and legs. So press that right hand into the mat. Left arm reaches forward, right leg reaches back. Tighten that core, and here we go. Inhale into the chest, slow and steady. And exhale, reaching back out. Keep that neck in line with your body here. So again, we'll inhale coming into the chest. And exhaling back out. You want all of this to be in your core. Try not to make your neck a part of this. So again, we'll inhale in. And exhaling out. And come back to that neutral position. Good. So let's go ahead and find our way into our downward facing dog. Round those feet, pressing up. This is your first down dog, so just getting comfortable, feeling those muscles stretch out. Go ahead and pedal your feet if you want, lifting one heel and then the other. Feeling those legs heat up, warm up. Let's walk our hands to our feet to our hands. Uttanasana. Fold forward, reaching for those toes. Try to bring your head as close to your body as you can. And if you want, go ahead and pedal your feet here, lifting one heel and then the other. Letting your legs get stretched out. Good. And then bending both knees slightly, we'll inhale halfway up, flat back. And exhale, folding forward. And again, inhaling halfway up. And exhale, fold. And bending both knees, we'll inhale those arms all the way up. Good. Let's drop that left arm, reaching with your right, breathing through that right side. And exhaling back to center, dropping that right arm, reaching with the left, breathing through that left side. And again, we'll exhale back up, palms together, and swan dive forward, fold all the way back to the earth. And bending both knees, find your way back into that downward facing dog pose. So we're going to inhale, reaching that right leg towards the sky. Good. And then bending that knee, looking under your right shoulder. And we'll exhale it back to the earth. And on your next inhalation, we're going to go ahead and step that right foot forward. Let's come into a low lunge on the right side. Pressing through that back leg. Let's walk our hands to the inside of our foot. We're going to press that right hand down. And let's inhale that left arm towards the sky. Good. And exhale it back to the earth. And if you can here, let's go ahead and exhale and come down on your shoulder, on your elbows. Now, if up here is a good enough stretch for you, then stay here, feel that burn. And if you aren't feeling it enough, go ahead and come down on those elbows. Really feeling that stretch, pressing through that back leg. Good. And when you're ready to exhale, we'll press those hands back into the earth. Let's walk that right hand back to the other side. And we'll come back into our downward facing dog. Now one more time, we're going to inhale our right leg again up into the sky. And this time as you exhale, we're going to bring that knee to our elbow. So right knee is coming towards that right elbow. And you're going to place your leg down into our pigeon pose. Now, on your exhale, if you want a deeper stretch, go ahead and come down on those elbows. Remember to keep that back leg engaged, so we don't want to just flop over here. Our body is engaged, you're feeling the stretch, and you're reaching forward. And when you exhale, we'll come back up to center. Be careful of that back knee. Turn that back foot under, and we'll come back into our downward facing dog pose. And here we go, left side. Left side, we'll inhale that left leg towards the sky. And bend that knee, looking under your left shoulder. Good. And exhale it back to the earth. And on your next breath, we'll step that left foot forward, coming into a lunge on our left side. And again, we'll walk our hands to the inside of that left foot, press that left hand down, and we'll inhale our right arm towards the sky. Good, and exhale back down. Turning that foot out slightly and coming down on your elbows if you feel you need to get a deeper stretch here. Good. We'll press our hands back into the earth, walk that left hand back over, and step back into that downward facing dog pose. And again, inhaling that left leg towards the sky. And just like the right leg, we're going to bring that left knee towards that left elbow, bringing that foot forward and coming down into the earth. And as you exhale, if you want to go ahead and come down on your elbows, keeping your body engaged as you come down. And just breathe here, relaxing and breathing. Good, and we'll press back into the earth, turning that back foot under and coming back into that downward facing dog pose. Let's walk our hands to our feet to our hands again, folding forward. Inhale halfway up, flat back, and exhale, fold forward. And again, inhaling up, exhaling down, and bending those knees, inhaling those arms all the way up. Good. Grabbing your right wrist with your left hand, we're going to shift to the left, gently pulling on that right arm. Feeling that stretch in the right side. And on your next inhalation, just turn and shine your heart towards the sky. Good. Coming back to center, switching hands, grabbing that left wrist with your right hand, and shifting to the right. Breathing through that left side. And again, as we inhale, turning, shining your heart towards the sky. We'll come back to center, and we'll swan dive back into that forward fold. And from here, again, we're going to come back into that downward facing dog. So let's inhale our right leg towards the sky. We're going to start going a little faster here. Stepping forward, let's come up into our warrior one. Hips squared to the front. Good. Let's bring our hands behind our back, clasping those fingers, straighten that front leg, and fold forward. Pressing those hands towards your head. Relax that neck. And then on your next breath, gently let your hands fall to the earth. We're going to walk our hands to the inside of our foot. Let's press that right hand down and inhale your left arm up. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Opening that chest towards the side. Bending that front knee, let's come into our warrior two. Gazing towards those front fingertips. And bringing those hands behind your back, clasping those fingers again, and we'll bow forward for our humble warrior. And slowly exhaling, rising back up, coming back to that warrior two pose. Turn that front palm up, reach forward, and inhale up, reverse that warrior. Good. And as we exhale to the front, we're going to bring elbow to knee, reaching long with that left arm. And let that right arm come up off of your leg. So we're getting a deeper stretch here, using those muscles. And as you exhale, we're just going to turn, pivot, and come into that low lunge. Let's take a big inhalation. Let's come up into our high lunge. So inhale, lift those arms towards the sky. If you need to drop that back knee, you can drop that back knee. Good. And exhale those hands back down, coming back into your downward facing dog. I'm going to go ahead and switch sides so you can see my left side better. So here we go. Inhale that left leg towards the sky. And stepping forward, warrior one, squaring to the front. Bring those hands behind your back, clasp your fingers, straighten that front leg, and bow forward. Relax your neck here. And exhale, reaching those hands towards that front leg. Walk your hands to the inside of your foot. Place that left hand down. Inhale up into your Trikonasana or triangle pose. Opening that chest. Bending that front knee, coming into your warrior two pose. And again, we'll clasp those fingers and bow forward for your humble warrior. Good, and exhale back up, back into that warrior two. Let's turn that front palm up, reach forward, and inhale up, reverse that warrior. And exhale as you exhale to the front, elbow to knee, reaching long with that right arm. And then go ahead and float that left arm, getting that deeper stretch, feeling it in your leg here. Good. And then we'll turn and pivot, coming into that low lunge. Take that big inhalation, and we'll rise up, coming into our high lunge. Again, if you need to modify, you can drop that knee. And exhale, hands to the earth, back into your downward facing dog. So let's go ahead and find our flow. Inhale out into that plank, level out, tight core, exhale to the earth. Dropping your knees if you need to. Inhaling up towards the sky, cobra. And exhale back down. And coming back into your downward facing dog pose. Now once you've been practicing your vinyasa flow for a while, you'll be able to chaturanga, and I'm going to teach you how to chaturanga today. And this is something that takes a lot of practice. It took me years to be able to do this. So you'll work your way up to this. We'll inhale out into our plank, and then you exhale halfway down. So this is what a chaturanga looks like. You're going to exhale, bending those elbows and floating here. Now from here, instead of coming to the earth, you're going to inhale up into your up dog and back into your downward facing dog pose. So let's go ahead and do a vinyasa the way we've been doing it. Inhale out into your plank, leveling out, and exhale all the way to the earth. And then you'll inhale up into that cobra. Now if you want to come all the way into your up dog, then you're going to press those feet into the floor, and as you inhale up, your body's going to lift from the floor. Good. And then you'll exhale back down and press back into that downward facing dog pose. So that's how we've been doing it. Now, to chaturanga, I'm going to show you one more time, and you can try it with me. And like I said, this took me a couple years to be able to do this. So don't get frustrated if you can't do it right now. So you'll inhale out to your plank. Exhale, chaturanga, bending those elbows, floating, and inhale into that up dog. And from up dog, you'll press back into your downward facing dog pose. Good. So now you know how to chaturanga. You can work your way there. Use that as a challenge to keep practicing. Keep your yoga. Practice moving. Good. So let's walk our hands to our feet to our hands. Fold forward again. Reaching for those toes. Let's heel toe our feet to the outer edges of our mat. And bending both knees, we are going to bring our right hand underneath our right leg. Left hand is going to come around our back. And see if you can clasp here, opening up, opening that chest towards the side. So you can bend your knees as much as you need to on this to get your arms together. Good, and we'll exhale, folding forward, reaching for those toes. Take a big inhalation, and as you exhale, again, we're going to bend those knees. Left hand is coming under left leg, right arm is coming behind your back, clasping and opening towards the side. Good. And exhale, folding forward. Bending both knees, let's inhale our arms all the way up, turning those feet out slightly. Exhale, hands to heart. Keep exhaling. Exhale all the way into a squat pose. Good. Nice long straight back. And we'll exhale, fold forward, reaching for those toes. You can heel toe your feet back in, and then find your way back into that downward facing dog. So we'll inhale our right leg towards the sky. Exhale, step forward into that low lunge. And we're going to come into a bind just like we did a minute ago. But this time we're going to do it in this low lunge. So we'll walk our hands to the inside of our foot. You're going to bring that right hand underneath your right leg, finding your balance, and left hand will come behind your back, clasping, opening towards the side. Again, find your modifications as you need them. And exhale, coming back to the center. Take a deep breath here, and let's come up into our warrior one. Good. From here, we'll exhale to that warrior two. Nice long arms. And then coming back to that warrior one, we're going to bring our hands to our hearts. And we're going to shift forward into that warrior three. So really press down on that front leg. Weight is coming forward as you inhale and rise up. Your goal here is to get that leg in line with your back, back in line with your leg. Again, using modifications as you need. And exhale, come back to that warrior two. Turning that front palm up, reaching forward and inhaling up. And exhale, windmill those arms back into your downward facing dog pose. And again, I'm going to switch sides so you can see the left side. So we'll inhale, reaching that left leg towards the sky. Stepping forward, we'll come into that low lunge on the left side. Keep pressing through that back leg. We'll walk our hands to the inside of our foot. And again, left hand's going to come underneath left leg, finding your balance, and reach that right arm behind your back, opening your chest. Good. Exhale back to center. Take a deep breath here and come up into that warrior one. Good. And exhale, pivot to that warrior two. Nice strong arms. Engaging your core. We'll bring our hands back to our warrior one, hands to heart. And again, bringing that weight into that left leg, slowly shifting forward and rising up. If you need to bring your hands to the earth, feel free to do so. Good. And coming back to that warrior two. Turn that front palm up, reaching forward and inhaling up. And exhale, windmilling back into our downward facing dog pose. And let's chaturanga. So inhale out into your plank. Exhale, chaturanga to the earth. And inhale into that up dog or your cobra. And exhaling back into your downward facing dog pose. And one more time. Inhale out into that plank. Leveling out. Exhale, chaturanga. Into your cobra or your up dog. And back into your downward facing dog. Let's walk our hands to our feet to our hands. Folding forward. And again, heel toe those feet, outer edges of your mat. And we'll inhale halfway up, flat back. And exhale, folding forward. And again, inhaling halfway up. And exhale, fold. And this time as you take that inhalation, let's just bend our knees. Turning our feet out slightly, we'll come back into that squat pose. So I'm going to turn to the side so you can see this a little better. So if you have bad wrists, this is not a pose for you. But if you like balancing poses, this one's pretty fun. So what you're going to do is you're going to walk your hands behind your feet. let's see, we want our hands to go this way. So you want your fingertips pointing towards your toes. So the thing about this pose is, like I said, if you have bad wrists, you don't want to do this, because what we're going to do is we're going to slowly bring the weight into our wrist. So it starts out here. You see my wrists aren't on the ground yet. And what you have to kind of do is have faith as you drop back and rise up. So your goal here is to get those feet hovering over the earth as you clasp your ankles. So go ahead and try that on your own if you'd like. And like I said, just be real careful of your wrists. If you have any wrist problems at all, not a pose for you. So what you're doing is you're just slowly dropping back, using those shoulder muscles to hold those legs. So I'll show you one more time. And binding those feet. So like I said, go ahead and try that, and when you're done, just come back and we'll rest in our child's pose. Now that everyone's in child's pose, let's go ahead and rise up, come to that tabletop. Round those feet, press up into your downward facing dog. And again, walking into that Uttanasana. So if you just did that pose and your wrists are a little sore, what you're going to do is you're going to bring your fingertips underneath your toes, gently stepping on your fingertips, and you're going to pull your hands towards your head. So we're just stretching our wrists the opposite way. You can feel it. It feels pretty good. Relax that neck. And we'll release the hands. Take that inhalation, bending your knees slightly. And exhale, straighten. And inhale, bend those knees. And exhale, straighten. And this time, inhaling, bending, bending, bending. Let's come to a seated position. Let's bring our legs out in front of us. Sitting up straight and tall. Take an inhalation, and as you exhale, we're rounding our back. We're reaching for our toes. And inhaling, rising back up. Let's go ahead, bending both knees. We're going to come all the way onto our backs. We're going to slow it down here. Relax our back muscles, relax our legs, and make our way into our Shavasana. So bring your knees into your chest. We're just gently going to rock here, rolling around a little bit. Release those feet to the earth. Heel toe your feet to the outer edges of your mat. Let's bring our arms into a T. Take an inhalation. And as you exhale, slowly let those knees drop to the right. Keeping your left side pressed down. Closing your eyes here if you want. I like to keep my eyes closed in all of these laying postures. Just taking that time to really use your breath and be in the moment. And we'll come back to center. Take that big inhalation. And as you exhale, you'll drop your knees to the left, pressing that right side down. And exhale, coming back to center. Bring those knees back into the chest. Let's go ahead and release our left leg to the earth. Holding in that right knee and hugging it. Take your left arm out to the side, pressing it into the earth. Engage that left side body. Pressing that shoulder down, left foot's flexed. Inhaling. And as you exhale, we'll open that right leg to the right, hip toward the sky, pressing that left side down and feeling that nice stretch. Exhaling, coming back to center. Releasing the right leg, holding in the left leg. And again, taking that moment to engage your left side body. Left arm is going out to the side. Pressing that shoulder down, flexing that foot. And we'll inhale. And as you exhale, opening that hip to the left. Back to center. We'll bring both knees back into the chest. Let's find our happy babies. Grabbing your ankles or your feet, wherever's comfortable. And if you want to gently rock here, feeling those hips open towards the sky. So we'll come back to center. And we're actually going to come back up. We're going to come into our frog pose. So this is a new pose that I learned at a recent workshop, and you might want to try this, and if you really don't like it, then you can go ahead and make your way into Shavasana. But if you do like it, we're going to do frog for a little bit, and then we'll go into Shavasana. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your mat. I'm going to do it towards the side. You're going to roll it up 2 or 3 times so you have a lot of cushion for your knee, for your knees. So rolling that mat up, and we're just going to bring our knees to the mat. We're bringing our knees out as far as you can get them. That's going to be different for everyone. And then you want your feet to come out just like you would see a frog do, right? And then you're just going to come down on your forearms. So you might want a cushion right here for your elbows. And just pressing back into that pose. This is a love-hate pose for a lot of people. And we're just going to close our eyes here and breathe. And as you really push through the pain, just take this time to think about where you've come in your yoga practice. Think about how you've changed on the mat and off the mat. How you've been learning how to balance better, balancing on the yoga mat, finding that balance in your everyday life. How you've pushed through fears that you thought you could never do. We've twisted out toxins. We've found confidence. And I hope that you've implemented this into your everyday life as well as you have on the yoga mat. So just think about the journey that you've been through as you push through this pain. And really just come to realize that you should be confident about your body, you should be confident about your life. And you should just live in the present moment. Trying not to stress or worry about past experiences or future worries. Living in the moment and being happy with what you have. So a few more breaths here, inhaling and exhaling. One more time, we'll inhale And on your exhalation, start to bring your hands into the ground and slowly bring those knees back together. Good. Go ahead and roll out your yoga mat if you're not already in your Shavasana. And just take that time to find your way into a comfortable position. So you might want to start by bringing your knees into your chest, releasing that tension in those legs. And then just slowly, when you're ready, let those legs fall long. So I like to start with relaxing my upper body. Start by relaxing those forehead muscles along with your eyelids. Let your jaw muscle go loose. Let your shoulders feel heavy against the mat. And relaxing all the way to your fingertips. Let those arms and hands fall wherever feels most comfortable. Wherever you can relax the best. And just take some deep breaths here. And as you inhale, you're just going to think about the journey that you've been through in these past 60 days. Ridding yourself of stress, gaining confidence, finding balance in your life, letting go of worries and fears, and feeling that breath living in the moment. So inhaling, and we're going to exhale, exhaling away all the negatives, all the fears, all the worries, all the stress. And what's left behind is happiness. So let's go ahead and relax our lower body. Relaxing your glute muscles, your hamstrings, all the way to your big toes. Feeling that body heavy against your mat. You feel yourself deflating like a balloon. Let's all take a big inhalation into our stomachs and a small exhale. A big inhalation into our ribs and a small exhale. And a big inhalation into our chest. And one nice long exhalation. And again, we'll take a big inhalation into our stomachs. A small exhale. A big inhalation into our ribs. A small exhale. And a big inhalation into our chest. And one nice, long, big exhalation. Feeling your body get heavier against that mat. We're going to do it one last time, this time holding our breath. So inhaling into the stomach and hold it. Inhaling into the ribs and hold it. And inhaling into the chest and releasing. Exhaling, releasing all that worry, all that fear. Feeling happy in this present moment. And just relaxing, letting go, and letting be. into your natural breath. Wiggling those toes, wiggling your fingers. And stretching your arms and stretching your legs. And on your next exhale, slowly making your way into your right side. And when you're ready, slowly making your way back up to a seated position. Taking a few breaths. Let's bring our hands to heart. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.